Generations, they accept them as like, this is how things always have been, and that's not going to change. The difference is our generation says, these are the things we don't like, now what can we do? I feel especially right now with social media, with everyone's ability to communicate such large ideas or small ideas to everyone in the world, essentially.
Every year, over 10,000 influencers go viral across platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. One viral moment, one algorithmic boost, one perfectly timed trend can catapult an unknown creator into sudden internet stardom. But what happens next is something we don't talk about nearly enough. Because while the dream of viral fame looks shiny on the outside, millions of followers, brand deals, global attention, on the inside, it can be emotionally disorienting, mentally draining, and psychologically destabilizing.
One of the things I'm most proud of when it comes to my generation is they not only stand up for what they believe in, but they also take action. You really have no excuse not to stand up for the things you believe in. You know, we're all part of humanity, we're all on the same team, and...
Today, I'm diving into the wild world of viral fame and trying to find out what really happens to influencers when they go viral overnight. In the blink of an eye, an influencer can go from a few thousand followers to millions. It's not just fame, it's a tidal wave that sweeps over every part of their life. Suddenly, they're answering DMs from major brands. Strangers are analyzing their childhood photos. Old tweets are being unearthed. Fans expect updates every hour. And worst of all, they may feel like they're not allowed to fail anymore.
Generations, they accept them as like, this is how things always have been, and that's not going to change. The difference is our generation says, these are the things we don't like, now what can we do? I feel especially right now with social media, with everyone's ability to communicate such large ideas or small ideas to everyone in the world, essentially.
Overnight virality is a double-edged sword. Yes, it brings in a rush of followers, engagement, and money. But it also brings unrealistic expectations, invasive scrutiny, and a pressure to maintain an image that may not have been fully formed in the first place. One of the biggest psychological challenges influencers face after going viral is the intense, unrelenting pressure to stay relevant. It's not enough to be famous once. You have to prove, over and over again, that you deserve the spotlight. This pressure manifests in different ways. Some influencers feel they must post constantly, sacrificing sleep and personal time to feed the algorithm.
I went through a year of depression, and during that time I discovered YouTube. And I remember thinking, like, this is so weird. People are just making videos in their rooms and people are watching it. For a lot of people, I'm like that older sister where they're like, oh, thank God you feel this way as well, and that's beautiful.
Others develop deep anxiety around their content, second-guessing every upload for fear of backlash or low performance. The dopamine highs from viral success often give way to withdrawal-like lows when views inevitably dip. It becomes an emotional roller coaster tied to analytics, engagement graphs, and algorithm changes. Mental health professionals have started identifying this as a kind of modern fame trauma, similar to what child actors or pop stars experience, but compressed into a much shorter time frame. Instead of years building a fan base, influencers now get it all at once, and the human brain isn't wired for that. It creates an intense cognitive dissonance. Yesterday you were unknown. Today millions know your name. And tomorrow you might be forgotten again. That emotional whiplash can be damaging, especially to younger creators who haven't yet developed strong coping mechanisms or boundaries.
But I was so intrigued by this creative process. As a kid, I was really creative. So I posted a YouTube video without any thought.
Today I'm going to teach you how to tie a side roll up.
And once I learned that, I thought, no, I definitely have to talk about depression, and I have to talk about things I'm feeling because...
There's also the scrutiny. Once someone goes viral, their entire online history becomes fair game for the internet. People dig up old posts, make assumptions about their politics, and expect them to be role models, whether they ask for it or not. One misstep, one poorly phrased comment, and the very audience that built them up can turn against them. Cancel culture thrives in viral ecosystems. This creates a constant state of hypervigilance. Influencers begin to censor themselves, filter their personalities, and conform to the expectations of a fan base that may not even represent who they truly are. This is where many influencers begin to lose touch with their identity. The person they are online slowly replaces the person they are in real life. They feel pressure to stay on brand, even in private.
And it was a bad video. It was awkward and it was crappy, but I fell in love with the process of creating again. I didn't think it was something people wanted to hear about. Very quickly I learned that the number one thing people like about my videos is that they feel like they're not alone.
Some start talking in TikTok slang off camera. Others change the way they dress, eat, or talk to match what their audience wants. In extreme cases, Influencers report feeling like they no longer know who they are without the phone, the camera, or the audience. The line between self and persona disappears. So how do influencers cope? Some power through. They scale up, hire teams, and treat their channel like startups. This helps with delegation, but also introduces new stressors: deadlines, payroll, content strategy meetings, and constant performance tracking. Others take a more introspective path, pausing their content to reflect, reevaluate, and return with a new sense of direction. In both cases, the goal becomes regaining control over their narrative.
And so, without thought, I posted a second and third, and it snowballed into what it is today.
Here's the thing, right? This is my channel and I can talk about whatever the F I want, so yo.
Harmony of a community being created that was supporting me and I was supporting.
One common coping strategy is to shift the type of content being created. Influencers who blew up with comedy might pivot toward vlogs. Fashion creators might introduce more personal storytelling. The change isn't just about creativity. It's about finding something more sustainable, something that feels real. Many influencers also become more selective about brand deals, turning down fast cash in favor of long-term alignment with companies that match their values. Because once the initial buzz fades, reputation is everything. Audience engagement also changes. In the beginning, influencers often reply to every comment in DM. After going viral, this becomes impossible. The flood of messages turns into noise, and the sense of intimacy with fans can start to erode. That parasocial bond that helped fuel their rise now feels overwhelming. Some influencers report feeling guilty for not being able to respond to everyone, even though it's not humanly possible. Offline, the ripple effects of virality hit hard. Relationships change. Friends may become distant or jealous. Family members may not understand the lifestyle. Strangers recognize you in public and expect a version of you they saw online. Privacy vanishes. Even mundane activities, shopping, dining, walking the dog, become loaded with the awareness that someone might be watching, recording, or waiting for a viral gotcha moment. Then there's money. Viral fame can bring in thousands or even millions overnight, but financial literacy isn't guaranteed. Some influencers blow through their earnings quickly. Others fall into the trap of living above their means to match their perceived status. Meanwhile, the platforms that made them famous can change algorithms at any time, cutting off revenue streams without warning. It's an unstable foundation. Many influencers quietly experience financial anxiety, even when their follower count is booming. Let's take a closer look at someone who's been through it all, Singh. Before she was one of the biggest YouTubers in the world,
Here's 5 annoying things your parents definitely do.
I started YouTube because I was sad and because I wanted to make myself happy. People usually ask me specifically, was it hard to share your story about with mental health with your audience? And honestly, no. I didn't do it right off the bat. In turn, other people also were cheered up on my videos. So it was this beautiful.
Lily was just another aspiring creator, making videos in her bedroom. She uploaded funny skits, relatable rants, and comedic characters. Her content was fresh, her energy infectious. When one of her early sketches went viral, everything changed. Her subscriber count exploded. Media outlets started calling. Suddenly she was on red carpets, in ad campaigns, and headlining global tours. But with that success came a hidden cost. Lily has openly spoken about the toll that viral fame took on her mental health. She developed depression, felt intense pressure to keep performing, and found herself chasing numbers rather than joy. Despite her success, she felt deeply alone. The persona she had built was wildly popular, but it wasn't the full version of who she was, and she couldn't escape it. Every time she stepped on stage or hit record, the audience expected Superwoman, not Lily. Eventually, she made the difficult decision to pause her uploads and focus on healing. When she returned, it was with a different approach, one rooted in authenticity, vulnerability, and creativity on her own terms. She began experimenting with new formats. She wrote a book, launched a late-night TV show, and started speaking openly about mental health and representation. While some fans dropped off, many others stayed and embraced the evolution. In doing so, she showed other influencers that it's possible to reclaim your identity after going viral. Lily's story is powerful, not because she avoided the struggles, but because she faced them and came out stronger. She transformed her platform from pure entertainment into something deeper, and in doing so, she redefined what success could look like in the influencer world. Her story is a microcosm of what thousands of influencers go through every year, just on a more public stage. The truth is, For every influencer who thrives after going viral, there are dozens who quietly burn out, fade away, or suffer in silence. Their mental health suffers, their relationships deteriorate, and their sense of self becomes a casualty of the internet's insatiable appetite for content. So what can be done? More platforms are starting to offer creator mental health tools, peer support groups, and education around burnout. Some brands are offering coaching for influencers to manage fame responsibly. But the biggest change has to come from the culture itself. As audiences, we need to stop expecting perfection. We need to stop equating follower counts with worth. And we need to remember that behind every viral moment is a human being trying to navigate a surreal new reality. Going viral can be a life-changing opportunity, but it's also a psychological experiment with very real consequences. And if we're going to celebrate internet fame, we also need to start understanding the price that comes with it. If you've ever wondered how influencers handle the chaos of going viral, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever watched someone blow up overnight, and did they seem different afterward? Did they thrive? Did they struggle? Let's talk about it. And if you're interested in learning more about the hidden effects of internet culture, social media pressure, or influencer psychology, check out my other videos. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next deep dive. Because sometimes, behind the algorithm is a real person still figuring it all out.